moving in, making it cool, suddenly mailboxes are adorned with a design element, and gardening is replaced with landscaping, and their very cool presence drives up the prices, and suddenly there is more vegan cheese, and the artists have to move out. They call it gentrification. The only difference is, in Palm Springs, the neighborhoods weren't downtrodden. They were just full of old people who didn't necessarily have the refined taste to match a vintage weather vane with their mid-century modern home. My immigrant parents bought one of those houses that were designed by Frank Lloyd Wright or Mies van der Bloob or whoever. But they definitely had no idea it was cool and were basically embarrassed by how angular everything was. You know what all the xenophobes say? Those darn immigrants come to this country and take all of our mid-century modern homes. Guilty as charged. But you know who knows how to appreciate the shit out of a mid-century mod? Gay dudes. So they started being our neighbors. I'm not saying they weren't old, most of them were still old, but they were gay, which had a certain je ne sais quoi. Our neighborhood went from very sleepy to moderately sleepy overnight. In the Farsad home, we had 2 rules. 1, never leave your cup too close to the edge of a table. And 2, misidentify all gay neighbors as roommates. Look, according to former Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, there are no gay people in Iran. Please see Exhibit B. So my parents' gaydar wasn't just poorly functioning, it hadn't even been hooked up. Exhibit B, ridiculous statements by former President of Iran Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. In Iran, we don't have homosexuals like in your country. We don't have that in our country. In Iran, we do not have this phenomenon. I don't know who's told you that we have it. Hal and Bob were our neighbors. Hal was about 6'4" and Bob was 5'2". Hal was black and Bob was white, so not only were these gentlemen rocking the boat by being a non-normative gay couple, that's grad school speak, they were also an interracial non-normative gay couple and also an interheightal non-normative gay couple. Again, Bob was really short. My parents loved them. They thought Hal and Bob were lovely, delightful, neighborly, and clearly just roommates. The benefits of calling them roommates were manifold. 1, you didn't have to explain to your daughter what homosexuality was. 2, you didn't have to activate any homophobia because deep down inside you're not even homophobic. 3, the word roommates has no larger socio-political implications. Roommates can be as interracial as they want. Roommates can be whatever gender they want. There is social pressure to hate the gays, but there is no such pressure to hate roommates. Middle of the chapter break to make a technical clarification on my previous whereabouts. I feel like it's a bit misleading to start talking about my life in Palm Springs, California, when in fact I actually started out my life in New Haven, Connecticut. I was there for my first 2 years of life and have no memories of it, except to say that it must have worked on my subconscious because later in life I applied to Yale and was rejected. So fuck Yale is what I would say if I was still bitter about it, but I'm not bitter, right? So who cares? I hope Yale is happy and healthy and has 1,000 little Yale babies and really rock hard abs. I'm totally over it. After those first 2 years, my parents moved me and my brother to Roanoke, Virginia. Roanoke wasn't in the glamorous "this is where Homeland was filmed" region of Virginia. Oh no, it's that part of Virginia that is the South. In fact, when we left and I started school in Palm Springs as a 2nd grader, I was officially deemed the new girl at school, named Negin, who was Iranian but spoke with a redneck Southern accent. I would say things like, "Y'all want to play tetherball?" Now, a Southern accent on the West Coast already feels misplaced, but coming out of the mouth of an ethnic 2nd grader, that shit is bizarre. Here's what I remember from Virginia. I had a best friend in preschool named Angela. Everyone in my class was blonde, everyone. The teachers thought I had a language problem because I was pretty quiet and my parents spoke Farsi to me at home. They asked my parents to stop doing that. My parents thought it was important for me to speak both Farsi and Azeri at home. Besides, my grandparents and most of my aunts and uncles didn't speak English, so speaking these other languages would be my only connection to them. Plus, it's more fun to yell at little kids in Farsi. The first time I came home from a hard day of finger painting, snacking, and napping, I started speaking English to my parents. My dad panicked, and then he had a flash of brilliance. He pretended that he didn't